So I just felt like making this, this video right now, really quickly. I know that I say that every single video, whatever, I always say, oh, listen, message is important, but I really just want, everybody or anybody that's listening to this right now, just to, I guess, whatever, listen, I guess. I finally took the time, I guess, to get away from, all like the crowdedness. Being on a college campus it's always a lot of crowdedness, a lot of stuff, and just took the time to get out here and speak. But not just that, I took out some time, some self-time, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to, I guess, talk about what I've been learning. I've made multiple videos since, in the past month, pretty much, multiple videos in the past month. And I haven't uploaded any of them, maybe it's just because it feels like in every moment, a video feels outdated because I'm learning so much, or whatever it is, just it's weird, man. I've been making videos, but low on time. Life has been so fast, man. I've been living a real, just quick, everything's happening so fast, everything's changing so fast, which I guess is normal, right? But I just want to say, man, I've been starting to think, this isn't really some formatted or structured message. I make a lot of those, right? But this is more just an opportunity for me to speak, generally on just, it's like documentation in a way. I've been going through a lot of changes, a lot of things, and I've been focusing so much, I feel, on purpose, and I've been focusing so much, and that's just, what it is. I've been focusing so much on trying to help, the people that's around me, and trying to focus so much on helping out my community, and the people that I know need that, shoulder of support. And I think because I've been working to do that so much, man, there's so much I realize that's like, what is it? I'll be real, man. Insecurities. You feel what I'm saying? Internal just issues. Things that, again, I'm not going to get super deep on. There's certain stuff you bring to the internet, and there's certain stuff that you don't. But I'm realizing that there's so much, and a lot of us, we live in a very fast generation. Every single, especially with young teenagers or, young men, young women, where we all want to feel like there's something in front of us each and every moment. And anytime that we feel like it's time for us to slow down, we try and make ourselves move fast again. If there's some pain or some depression or something that you might be struggling with on the inside, something, I'm being real here. Again, I'm not just saying this just to message out. I'm being real, 100% raw and honest to you. It's like what people will end up doing is, the usage of either drugs or social status or whatever makes them feel really good about themselves in that moment, to where they can kind of suppress and put away the pain that they might be facing within their lives. And I'm realizing in a way that, there's different factors, but I used a lot of, say, social status. I used a lot of, say, me looking, me standing out to people in a way where it made me feel like, the depression and all these things, the pain, the issues that I face don't really matter. And I'm realizing the importance of not only not walking in that way and in that mentality, but also, taking the time out when you do have that pain. This is a part of what we say as in trusting God, right? That's something that I haven't been trusting God in, because I haven't been taking the time to be still at all. I've been moving so fast. I haven't taken the time to think, take the time to process. And it's hard because processing sucks, dog. It sucks to have to fill out what you're facing, man. It sucks to really have to feel that junk, because it doesn't just go away, and it takes a while, bro. Again, take this as documentation, take this as being real, take this as me relating to you if you're facing anything, whatever it is. But look, man, it sucks. It sucks to feel that pain out, man. It sucks. As far as I know, though, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but the way to reach that light at the end of the tunnel, you might be feeling like you've been facing the same pain for years, man. That's how I feel, bro. That's how I feel, yo. I feel like I've been facing the same issues for years, man. And it's like, I'm trying to, I guess, instead of me trying to keep on moving and keep on walking and keep on moving in this fast position and trying to cope in whatever way I can, how about I take the time out to really process this stuff. It's hard, it sucks, dog. Life is rough. And it's not just because of the physical circumstances. Things are getting better. Truthfully, things are getting better, and I thank God for that, you know? But what's tough is internally, bro, I realize the amount of weight that I'm holding. And, you know, I've just been taking so much time because, truthfully, you know, I'm not even gonna just say, whatever, as a young person, you know what I'm saying, as a young human being, you know, I do think that there's certain differences, of course, that people view it as when it comes to, say, a form of either sexism or racism, right? I think that sometimes that can class us in different areas where people will view you differently, and people will view to a certain degree how much do your problems matter, right? I do believe that, and I think that's completely wrong. I think that all of our problems matter equally, but, you know, the way the society is, the way that, you know, that's the world, you know, that's not how God views it, right? But what I'm saying here is that I think that in generally still speaking, as human beings, we all struggle with, you know, our problems not mattering to people, right? We always have to keep on walking, keep on moving forward, no matter what, you know, no matter what, keep on walking. It's like if you don't keep doing, you know, if you don't keep doing that, walking how other people want you to walk, doing things to the degree that other people's expectations lead to, then you're going to get looked at as wrong. You're going to get looked at as different. You're going to get looked at as lazy or problematic or whatever it is. You're not doing enough. And I think that that's tough, man. That's tough, but that's how the world is. And all I'm trying to speak out here today is that there's a lesson to learn from all of this. And it's that, self-time, self-love, you know, not only does it give you a time to be able to process and deal with, it gives you the opportunity to trust in God with the next steps that you have to take. Some people will take trusting in God as laziness because you're not relying 100% on yourself. And that's just wrong, you know, but that's again, we all have our own perspectives, and that's one thing that I'm open to as well. But we all have our own perspectives, right? But one thing I will say is that me 100% leaning on myself, truthfully, like, I feel I've been leaning on God in ways, and I've been leaning on myself. You know, lukewarm don't work though, right? And, you know, I've realized, like, man, you know, I feel like I haven't, you know, there's things like, oh, I feel like I haven't gotten this far. Oh, I've put in so much work in everything. Every single song that I've made, every single piece of work that I've put into when it comes to school, every single, you know, time that I've been working, you know, to make money. And it's like, I feel like I'm still stagnant. And it's like, because I need to be patient, number one, and number two, I need to not live this fast, working hard old life where now I'm pressuring myself and pushing myself. Again, you should never feel like you're pressuring yourself more than you'd pressure another person that also is in need of your help. You know, I know that seems like it's normal and it seems like that's cool, but man, you know, I think that regardless of the fact, we all have to lean on God. And if we all have to lean on God, you know what that means? That means that you can't pressure yourself more than the next person pressures themselves, because it's God's plan, not your plan, not your pressure. You know, it shouldn't be you pressuring yourself. It should be God planning you, you know? That's what I'm trying to say here today, and that's something I'm trying to learn. And it's tough, bro. It's hard, man. It's hard, but I'm trying to learn to, you know, be stagnant, feel out all this pain, dog. It's tough, you know, learning stuff, facing stuff, man. It's that fast. It's, you know, maybe you're using, you know, laughs, or maybe you're using drugs, or maybe you're using social status again, like I said, or maybe you're using whatever it is to cope with the pain that you're facing. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, that it's wrong to, you know, laugh, or, you know, laugh and keep it walking when you're going through this pain, but you have to face it. You have to face it whether you like to or not. And we don't talk about that in the society. We don't talk about how important it is to actually face your pain. That's why I got led so deeply astray, is that, you know, I made it this thing where it's like, oh, what makes you a man is that when you face pain, you stand up and keep walking anyways. And I'm realizing, yeah, you have to keep facing this pain, but you have to face the pain. It's not just about what you do outside of that. You know, I could sit here and, you know, it's so many people out here now that's working so hard and putting in so much work, you know, but the problem is they haven't faced what they've dealt with. You know, and they're using whatever they can to cope with it and put it on the underside. So then once they go and it's time for them to get out there again, they have that deep down still there, but they're just not dealing with it at the time. And it's always going to be there until you face it. You know, that's tough, man, and it sucks, but that's just what I'm learning, man. You know, things just don't go away. You don't just outgrow things. You don't. That's why there's so many people that's still kind of in the same spot that they're in. They're kind of in the same perspective and all that, and they'll still be way older than they were before. And I'm not trying to be like that, man. I'm not trying to be like that, dog. I'm not, man. I'm just really not. I'm trying to change. I want to do better. It's just hard, you know? It's really hard, bro. And all I'm trying to sit here and say today is that, man, you know, I know it might seem hard right now. You know, it's hard for me. I feel like I'm going through a hard time, you know? And it might seem hard, but it'll get better. But what you got to do, you may feel like it's not getting better at all and it hasn't gotten better at all. But what you need to do is lean on God. And what I mean by that is all these things that you know you're using to suppress out that pain, you need to let those go. You need to let that stuff go. You know, if you're using, oh, you know, I feel better by myself because other people like me. You know, you need to let that go. You know, because that's suppressing you away from actually facing your pain, that gratification of social status. Or if you're using sex or some kind of sexual whatever, again, we all know that that's another way that a lot of people cope with pain. You need to let that go because that's not what it's made for. Drugs, if you're using drugs, you need to let that go. You need to let that junk go, dog. If you're using social media or platforms like, you know, social media platforms, again, it's cool to look and scroll and watch, but you know, you understand when you're using it. You'll understand when you're using it, you know, because you're interested in seeing what's going on with the world versus you using it because you want to distract yourself from your problems. You know the difference. You do. You know the difference. I know the difference. So all I'm trying to tell you is that you need to let that go. Let that intent of using it go. Because you know when that's the intent. If you're using, you know, there's so many different things that people will use, you know, ways to cope with pain. Sexual addiction, that applies to if you're just using sex or if you're using porn, whatever it is, dude. You gotta let that junk go. And I'm not saying it in a judgmental way. We all use these things and judge people about it. You judge somebody because they use it. You judge people, laugh at them if they freaking watch porn. You laugh at them if they freaking sit here and, you know, do things that we have decided to class it as embarrassing rather than something that needs to be eliminated. It's a lot deeper than being something that's embarrassing. But we judge people. We use other people's problems as a way for, again, us to feel better than those other people that have problems. People got to stop with that stuff. And I'm saying us as in just a society, everybody, people, right? Because I feel for the people. I feel for the people that's like that too, you know, but it's not cool to judge. That's another thing. That's a coping mechanism right there. You judging yourself. You judging other people and putting yourself on a pedestal is another coping mechanism for you feeling insecure about yourself, right? Again, I'm just keeping it real today, and that's what I'm doing. You know, I've talked about what I need to talk about today. I think I'm low on time on my phone. Yeah, I only have 20 seconds left. I never got enough time here, but I spoke on what I got to speak on. This is YoungGT. You know, I thank you for watching. I'm hoping that this video, you know, may helped you or maybe just gave you my perspective. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep walking, keep doing what I'm doing, and learning to give it to God. Peace out, y'all.